Ooh, welcome. Welcome to Chicago's Live. You can hear anything. If the camera's on, you can see anything. This is Laverne Shea with Daily Divine Guidance 9774. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take you back to a history point that kind of sheds light on some of these things that have been happening. Now, as many of you know, this is a life hack channel. This is a channel that speaks about life that relates to the Bible. This is real life. This is not a sector, it's not a belief, it's not religion. The air that you breathe is simply God's spirit. You gotta believe that. Everything that you are is made up of God's. Everything. Everything you see is made up of whatever they call atoms and molecules, which are of God. Period. So the spirit of life moves upon the earth. Okay. And it brings all of this wonderful stuff that is supposed to be for everyone to enjoy. And moving forward, there has to be a villain. There has to be a villain created of himself as a musical genius. He is an angel. He decides, I think I'm equal to my parents. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I am equal. And I think I want to take over the kingdom. But he doesn't have the blueprint. So he duplicates and steals and forges and does forgery, however you want to put it. And he tells people, this is my work. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? God's like, you got to go. Can't be in the kingdom. Love you though. So he decides, well, I'm going to go and trick as many people as possible to be evil. And the most they'll get is hell. But they don't need to know that because I just wanted to be my father. And since I can't be the creator, I'll trick people into it. So let's get to the 1600s. Now, the sun is about, I believe, a couple of billions of years old. Okay. And so that means a lot of this stuff is very old, as I stated. The 2025 is only a representative of the past 2025 years since the death of Christ. What happened before that? How many lifetimes have there been? Who knows? But just jumping in, the 2025 is after the death of Christ. And that's how we're gauging the calendars and things. These people, doesn't matter who, they've changed the calendar several times. They're supposed to be 13 months, and who knows what it was in other lifetimes. We're not the only people that have been alive, whether that's this planet, another world. This is not the first batch, not just your grandparents and great grandparents, and however you can trace back as far as the Bible or your lineage or people that you've met that knew their parents can tell you if they live to tell the story. So there's a lot of things that have happened before we got here. But a lot of people like to look at the pigeon vision of, well, I'll just deal with where I am at right now. And that's great. It's okay. But like myself, I come from a background that is clearly full of racism, which is where people just don't like your race. Now, what the frick that means, I don't know. I'm a person. And I had no control over where I come from, what I look like, who my parents were, nothing. But people wake up and were taught, don't like that person because they're from this place. Or do this to this person because they have this color skin. If you see this is what you absolutely do. You must do it. And this becomes a pattern, a system. So us looking at our society now with the illegal, immoral and detrimental norms where people literally feel, and I can only speak for my group, from my experience, that because of my skin and my kids' skin, because of our color or position in life or where we were born or where we live, people literally feel like, oh, Chicago. Now, I wasn't born here. My kids weren't born here. Oh, this must be, let's see. Oh, the plethora of stealing women, young women, older women, for whatever we need. No one cares. We are whoever we are, using God's resources to feel celebrated, to feel above. And this is the craziest thing. Just because you have cash, which is temporary, in a bank, which is temporary, playing with people's lives, which are temporary, is amazing. Just because you have 20,000, 100,000, a million, 2 million, 3 trillion, you feel like you can go and just take people's lives. You can just go and hunt them down and treat them poorly, make them poor, play with algorithms. Now remember, algorithms weren't here. They were not. This is something fairly new over this is where people can monitor what you do, what you say, what you like, what you're saying, like in this phone while the mic is on. They could hear what you're saying. Google picks it up in some cases. Different companies through these apps, they'll have you agree to whatever they're saying. Most of us don't read it. Some of this stuff is literally giving people access to view us in our privacy, to hear our voice in our private times, recording things that we say or like. In some cases, these people with the millions and trillions, they're listening to you or watching you without your permission. But they feel, as long as they put it on an app that says, we need access to your mic, we need access to your camera, and you go, okay, I want this app, I'll take it. They're literally watching some of us do our daily private stuff. Now, I have nothing to hide, but I can see how dangerous this is because someone had been chiming in on me and my daughters. Now, when people know that people like me and my children are smart, I went to school for computers. I sent my daughter in for computers. The other one is very brilliant in law and justice like myself, and the other is justice like too. They want to break you down because God put a code in you that says what's right or wrong, and you fierily, with fire, vigilantly said no or yes, or that's not going to happen. You have justice on your side. Hello, alternate K. And people feel like, oh, the people in those groups, oh, this is fire. We can't have this person jumping out. And so this is not your society, first of all. Let's make that clear. God made a society where when it said, not just for the United States purposes, but that this is his world, it is. And you people, I don't care who you are, where you sit, your cash is temporary, your bank accounts are temporary, you are temporary. No one's going to be here forever. And I don't care how you freeze yourself, how you invent chambers and different things like that to preserve. That is against God's will. And you can keep playing with him if you like. I invite some of you guys. But you're to respect people while you're here, their children while you're here. You're not to be going around killing people's kids, experimenting on people. Experiment on your own goddamn raggedy ass kids. You want to fuck your little offspring up, you do that. But you don't pay poor, miserable slaves. That is their background. Big, largest amount of money because they're effed up and retarded to go and F up their own family members and think it's funny, as if no one knows that your retarded head is sitting there watching someone else's kids. Who's watching yours? You're sitting here snatching people up, young and old, trying to snatch body parts and experiment. What did God tell you to experiment on people and to worry about their history? You guys have been doing this for a while and it's really sick. And I really think you guys should be locked up, playing in the morgue, playing with the hospitals, playing with the emergency services with me. I can walk out the house right now, and I promise you, somewhere along my routes, now that I'm not driving, these little kid clowns that were hired out of high school to do volunteer work, get in their little clown car, and they think it's funny that they can race up the street out of nowhere because they have GPS and a timing schedule. Just like when you do Uber or Lyft, they can kind of gauge when you will arrive. Now, if I'm walking, you can easily go to Google, right? Because they're watching your phone, they're watching you, and it'll say, okay, she's 12 minutes away from this corner. These little clowns in these little clown cars here in Chicago will literally paste their little pasty face selves up on any day of the week. And by the time I hit the corner to the block that I'm going to, they come racing up the street in a little clown car. Now, how do you respect emergency services, whether it's a fire truck, which that chief died effing around with me? Somebody ordered, could be an old dingy mayor somewhere, that these people keep harassing me. And all I can see is God will have this man in his orange suit and his clown nose on public television, along with all his little goons locked up, which is why they're going to shut down the government most likely. Because I'm one that maybe God used to guide down this rabbit hole from the 1600s or wherever. A system that has been in place that made people from other countries that were not here come here and feel like they could do what they want to people, and they were accepted easily because of their skin color. And that they can set up different systems and things that have been going on for years, where people that look like me were part of those families due to men liking to hunch on children that were not their race. And they will make these kids and hide these kids over and over and over into the system called what? Section 8, poverty, certain areas, put with various families that were maybe related to them out of these unions that were not authorized by any goddamn body but the devil. And then they would treat these kids poorly. These kids would have kids and it would just keep going. They would never get the properties that maybe someone left them, maybe the father that loved their mother. They would kill these mothers, lynchings, whatever, dismemberment, attacks, hangings, whatever they did. Okay, and has it stopped? No. Now they have cops in some cities that are dumb enough to take these bribes. Instead of standing up saying, I don't want to go to hell. No, they take them because they're evil. And or thirsty, whichever. And they'll take this money and they will organize their little groups with their retarded little families. Hey, we're going to make you an undercover because I have the authority, a little deputy. And they empower these people with mental problems to come out here and carry out heinous things and then set it up just like they were taught by the criminals to make it look legal in the news, when it was really a witch hunt. Because some of you guys are owned a lot, your families actually owned a lot of things here in Chicago. That's why they're blocking my channel. But God is about to block them. These people are going down in history as infamous. Now, if you don't hit the news, know that God is going to hit your life, your entire lineage. I've told you guys this, and I'm very proud to announce it because you were proud in your little meetings, empowering these poor black people to, as they say, get in the juke house and shake their ass, get on the football field and run for false entertainment. And what was the third and fourth one? There's 2 other industries that you all kind of allow us to entertain y'all chicken feed and findings with: dancing, sports, what else? But nothing like myself. I love architecture, and there's a few people that bust into the industry. Oh, look how many. One that we could think of. 2 women that are in construction that literally run stuff. There's a lot more of us architects out here, or people that enjoy real estate, and you guys made it hard. I promise you guys, I went for insurance, and I don't know who it was, but somebody was absolutely creating a lot of chaos. I happened to go ahead and get this license, but literally the whole city will not buy my products. I went to so many people and they were on solid red, like they got a notice in a Batman phone that said, do not buy from her. So I was what do you call it? Kind of like a retention agent anyway. This was a cash payment service, and I was told to go out and find these people. I didn't know what I was doing. Couldn't find out I was cleaning a book where people were stealing the payments. Um, so I would go out and find these customers, reassure them that they can get back on and be covered in the event that something happens to their family. Don't worry about the theft, but keep your payments up. These people would back pay. They would pay it up. They would have that money and they would pay it up until they found the new insurer or whatever they were going to do. And I was happy to clean that book up. I got it probably up to 98.999% for the frick I know. But it took a while, not long. I knew how to find them. You go to the old numbers. Most people know people. It wasn't like they stole the money. This was insurance. They wanted to pay. Families wanted to pay. They just were disappointed that they would call the office and these agents would have stolen their money and went off somewhere and wouldn't pay back. I'm not judging. I don't know anything about these people's stories, but I'm not a thief. Okay, I don't steal. I don't see the pleasure in it. I don't understand what will possess a person to do such thing. And somebody tried to play that game with me and my children. Take everything away and see what they do. I don't know if it was a psych ward patient around me or someone paid these people to do this. I'm not sure, but we will talk about this again. There has been a history of a group of people that is keeping some effery going on throughout centuries and lifetimes, where they have these strings inside of this government that God ordained, but people have perverted, where they're not operating on the system that God created, which is righteousness. They're operating out of greed, out of lack, out of slavery mentality, out of ignorance and demonic influence. There's a lot more things I could say about that, but let's keep it moving. I myself understand that if I get a position here, I will absolutely have it where I'm planting a seed so that in the future, my future families would have access to things without hindering, harboring, or discarding someone else. There are a lot of people that have been in government since, let's just say, the 1600s, but most recently the 1960s. And they've absolutely planted seeds from the 1600s that says people of dark skin are not to XYZ 1, 2, 3. And they live on this and will hire people like myself with positions and promises of money and even contracts to keep people like me down. Who are those? People that think for themselves, that are free-spirited, that understand justice and don't like foolishness. Me and my children are zero tolerant foolish. Okay? We don't judge other people, but don't bring it to us. And I've noticed recently that my children sound, now, when it happened to me and I didn't understand, I wasn't necessarily kind of familiar. I was trying to figure out what the frick going on. And by the time I kind of figured it, they had snatched my kids annoyingly. And next time I talk to them, they sound weary and worn, like, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. And I promise you, just for that act alone that you put together to do that, to separate us, I don't give a goddamn who you are and what role you played in this here. I just want to remind you in the next, 4 minutes or so, that God is going to sweep through here. You can put whatever bullshit you want in place to keep this shit going, where you can snatch people's kids without their permission and put them somewhere pretending that the parent wasn't suitable because of the hardships you put on them. I don't care who the hell you use, who did this shit, and how long it's been happening. You will now pass out. I don't think you will come back. It don't matter what you do to me. I'll be back. You won't. My children will be here. You won't. Per God. Whatever you're thinking of now to keep this going or to make it better, greater, longer, stronger, God is going to burn it, you, and everything associated with it. Now, this may not be a physical burn, which I'm assuming it will be. Not you physically stupid, but whatever this is, it will be annihilated along with you and everyone else involved. And with that, this will bring freedom to folks that know how to have property, know how to work, take care of their families, that have lost things that will be recovered because of your evil doing. specifically. So you will go down in history as a demon. You will be exposed as such because you have no right and no business to feel so arrogantly that you are God and you're not, because you did not put the sun in the sky. You did not wake us up. And yes, you keep interrupting my sleep with this little vibrating junk you've put together, you numbskull. But you're still not God. You did not give me air. You did not give me life. You were not born when I was born. You didn't know me then, so you absolutely could not have had anything to do with my creation. And for you to feel that it is now for you to sign on and feel like your God is stupid. Did I say he don't like counterfeits? Yeah, you're going to be gone. All y'all. So whatever you're plotting and planning, it will die with you. And that is the reminder that I want to give you guys for Ahasuerus, King Ahasuerus, that had to take out his own right-hand man. Okay. So whoever you're around and whoever you've been cahooting with, somehow somebody's going to take somebody out. Yeah. You thought this person was loyal. You thought this person would be on your side. Now, we're not talking to the little hood people. We're talking about big old folks that ain't got no real title, but they think they have money and power. God is going to snatch that. Your family, your friends, your loved ones. I'm not wishing this stupid. This is God. I'm not God. But I think you've already seen what's happening. You could be an elderly person and you're seeing people around you just pass on. That is God. All of your ideas that you've put in place to run something and to keep it going with your raggedy family, teaching them the old slave, you're not even from that. You're not even from that. I don't know who taught you and told you that was okay. You're from a almost Greece. Why are you feeling like you're better than somebody? Why do you feel it's okay to come into this city that belongs to the natives and think you're going to run something? You're going to set up all these systems, and it's not even you. It goes deeper than that. Did I say the 1600s, 1800s, where people felt like people were not worthy of anything and they would just kill them off and move them out the way? Well, God is going to kill them and move them out the way. And they're going to get all their stuff back. Their children are going to get their stuff back. People are going to create new ideas and new things that don't look like you. And there's nothing you can do about it because your group is going to be gone. Now, is this just one family? No. This is going to be a whole group that God is just going to, out of all that evil they created, boop, you're going to be like, what happened? Where'd it go? What happened to the folks that were already here? Not just in Chicago or in America, but period. There was a lot of people that were moved, eliminated, gone. Because somebody just felt like, we don't need them. They don't need nothing. Who are you? So while you guys are looking at this trial, which happens periodically, God is actually unleashing some spirits that are of justice, that are bringing justice. And it don't matter who's sitting up there with their cocky little do-do-do, hairdo, or whatever. And I'm not talking to any one person. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that really felt like they run something, like they really own something, like they really, I don't care if it's my own race, like they really control somebody, like somebody really taught them how to slave from the background. And God is saying, no, we're going to bring you to the forefront. You want to be famous? You want to be in movies? You want to be a star? You want to be, yeah. When I grow up, yeah. Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. You're going to be on the news. You're going to be in movies. You ain't going to be here. Your kids are not going to be here. Your family. Then you want everybody else gone. You want people's kids gone. You wanted people gone. You wanted anything they built gone. You wanted them silenced. Well, this is going to be your movie. Get ready now. Because then God is just going to erase everything you ever did. And you call it whatever you want. And your family, just like Haman in the Bible, Haman, thought he was going to eliminate all the Jews for no reason. Just evil. It doesn't matter if you're a small family or a whole society. God is going to walk you off the stage and take you to the guillotine you thought was for someone else. You thought you were going to wrap up all the black people or all the family members of a group, or you thought you was going to take over the world, pinky in the brain stuff. For what? This belongs to God. I don't know how many jackets we're going to need for those that survive this, but you guys need to be off the map. I am not worried about what you can do to me or my children. We will be here always because of righteousness. And it doesn't matter how you smothered everything we do and say to take care of ourselves, have us sleep on floors, punching folks in the face, whatever you did or do is not what's going to happen to you. But worse, because you will be annihilated. This is God. Your family is not going to survive because of you, stupid. Don't be trying to come over here or at us, because God's going to make that blowback even bigger. You guys had no absolute right over all of these centuries and years to be doing what you did. I don't care who you are and who signed up with you, who gave you what. God is the money. God is the internet. God is the air we breathe. God is the food we eat. God are the clothes we wear. God are the vehicles we drive. The animals we kill for these raggedy purses. All this hair we're wearing that ain't ours. God created everything. And he is not pleased with you demons that are using the law, justice, whatever you're doing that is not godly. He is not pleased. And this is that season. You will not be returning. You're fired. Now, I was just thinking about a TV show. What would you do if you had nothing? And I think we need to start throwing people, celebrities, on these shows, because why are we celebrating you if you ain't helping nobody? I'm confused. What is a celebration? You cute? Y'all not doing nothing. Y'all know who you are. Entertaining is great. What are you doing in real life? Who do you really help other than yourself? We're going to leave it at that. So may the Lord bless you guys and keep you, and let his light shine upon you. But you people that have been in the background pulling strings to be stupid and greedy and ugly and selfish and murderous and all that. And again, this is not to no one group or one person. This has been an industry of people that just felt like they could. God said, well, I would. I'm going to match your energy. And I promise you I win. That's God. You can't get mad at me. You guys have been horrific. Out here killing people, snatching people, driving people out of their minds, being rude. People with solid minds and solid futures. You just sat there and thought you have a little fun. Well, God is about to have a little fun. Some of y'all about to lose your mind. I'm telling you, going off the map. This is your turn. Everything you've done. Think about everything you've done. All the ghosts you've created. They're coming to visit you. Yeah, they're going to come to wherever you go. Just like you wanted to be in people's business. These visitations are going to be great. You think you're funny? Yeah, and everything you've ever worked for, it will dissipate. I don't care if you're in the CIA, FBI, ABC, 123, XYZ, GBA, whatever is going to God, God. He is taking over all of the systems that he owns. And he gonna snag y'all out. Yep, he gonna snag you out. I don't care if you had 30 minutes in the BS. You better get your hearts right. Because some of y'all, it ain't no comeback. Let's change. No. Again, just like he did in those Bible days, he is no different. Y'all, how she's still surviving, how that lady still made it, we don't understand. You don't own nothing. Well, it usually work, and you'll pay for that. You will pay, baby. You got a check coming. You got a check coming for the wages of sin. If you put me under your belt, oh, you would have popped into a flame right on the spot. So you got a little grace. You're going to tell people goodbye. Goodbye. They going with you anyway, but still. Ahab and that crazy Jezebel, y'all can laugh. Oh, I don't believe in the Bible. That's okay. You're going to believe this when you see it on the news. It's going to be your big old face. They're going to come get you. And the God of true justice angels are going to usher you on into hell. Truthfully. Don't believe me? Just watch. Mm-hmm. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Hey, stop. Yep. Everything gonna stop for you. Since you want everything to be zero for me, it's gonna be zero for you. Anything you did to my kids, triple that shit. Hey, okay? I mean, God gonna multiply it anyway. Because you work so hard. It doesn't matter who you are and when you was born. It doesn't matter what you did and where you were. Well, I just pushed the pen. I just put the paper on the table. Okay. So this is a distraction. I told y'all it was all about to blow up. There are doctors, lawyers, people in the justice system, people way up somewhere in the sky. They can hear in the mountains. God don't know too. They think they're safe from all harm and shame. Nope. God's gonna drag y'all out them country hillbilly mountains, stealing on them farms and all, and you're gonna be on Front Street. You and your whole entire group and families. Oh yeah, for the world to see. And then you'll go bye-bye. And then justice will begin to bloom. True, godly righteousness that it should have been. Without you demons running around going, let's plant the seed of deceit and debauchery. That's fun and in our advantage. Screw those black people. Screw those Mexicans. Screw those this and that. Anyone that was wronged, God will judge. Anyone that caused the injustice, God will judge. So, if you see yourself being deported, if you see yourself being tossed around, moneyless, powerless, homeless, uninfluential, don't be surprised. We weren't. We were waiting on God. And you should too. Because I promise you, you will be calling for him after this. How dare you put me and my children through this? How dare you be so arrogant and cocky to feel like this was okay for centuries? Say, you are a liar, a cheater, a manipulator. You are a horrible creature that gives people false entitlement, false ideas, false identity. And you allow them to run themselves into the ground trying to play God. Well, you're already in hell. But look at all the people you've drug with you. Oh, there is no God. Let's just do this. Let's play like we're elitists, like we created the universe and all the food and clothes. How many people are you going to make mentally ill? As many as they'd let you, right? Okay. Well, me and my children will be back. And I can't speak for the others. But I absolutely know where you will be. And all the people that you tricked. All the people that didn't believe. Some of them are on the TV right now, scrambling. They're on those stages right now, scrambling, trying to show all their little families online. Baby, I'm going to have lineages and lineages and lineages and different times that you're not going to be a part of. And there's nothing you can do about it. So until next time, for those that have joined me, I'd like to thank you. And if you'd like to join this righteous group called God's People, you feel free to like, share, and subscribe because we ain't stopping. We'll be back. There's more. Stay tuned.